Depressing dating statistics that will make you glad you're single. Half of all Americans snoop on their partners. Americans think that trust should be the foundation of any relationship, as long as that trust can be verified. According to SeekingArrangement.com, more than half of our countrymen are interested in spying on their significant other. According to an OurTime.com poll, 40% of Americans favor of spying on a boyfriend or girlfriend if they suspect wrongdoing, which indicates that 10% of the population feels extremely bad about checking their lover's phone for sex. During a relationship, 20% of men cheat. Being in a relationship has a 1 in 5 risk of turning you into a nasty cheating dog. Why bother entering into a relationship if all you're going to receive is a scarlet letter? When you're single, having a rotating door of lovers wins you the reputation of a playboy. When you're in a relationship, the same conduct earns you the reputation of being an asshole. If you believe you're the type of guy who can sneak about guilt-free, reconsider. Because 2/3 of guys feel guilty after cheating on their partner, you're probably not as receptive to a hotel room rendezvous as you think. Romantic love only lasts a year. You know how you get that wonderful sensation when you first fall in love? The sensation of being over heels in love is caused by increased protein levels in your bloodstream, and it passes quickly. After a year, the insane love hormones level down, leaving you with companionate love. We recognize this type of love as honey. I'd like you to mow the lawn, and I'd like it if you did something other than sit on the couch all day, so that the love you spend hundreds of dollars and dozens of nights cultivating over romantic dinners and moonlit strolls vanishes into the ether before the earth makes its full circle. The benefit of one-night encounters is that you don't have time for those proteins to settle before you leave. Married couples have sex only once a week. One disadvantage of dating is that it might lead to marriage. Contrary to popular belief, being married implies you'll be getting laid on a regular basis. It turns out that a somewhat effective Tinder user gets laid more frequently than the typical married man. Unfortunately, between job, kid rearing, and reruns of Big Bang Theory, married couples struggle to find time to get it on. All the agony of a snoring, squirming, blanket-hogging person sharing your bed for one round of nookie every week simply doesn't seem like a good deal. Being in a relationship causes you to gain weight. We've all witnessed at least one of our sons suffer from the age-old married people grow fat idea, and when sweatpants theory is really supported by research. When they bag the prom queen and put a ring on it, they let their sinewy muscles degrade into fat, according to the National Institute of Health, and your slovenly pal is not alone. Stay hungry and single. As your friends are getting divorces and cholesterol tests, you'll be busy fending off the girls with a stick owing to your lonely toned abs and sculpted delts. Most partnerships last 3 to 5 months. Most relationships dissolve in that tough 3 to 5 month period. It may appear like all of your friends are dating, but if that is the case right now, just wait a few weeks. You'll soon have newly single buddies accompanying you to Hooters and the strip club. A season of your favorite television show is unlikely to come and go in the time it takes you to damage your relationship. So why bother starting one in the first place? If you're such a glutton for punishment that you insist on pursuing new relationships, note May 14th on your calendar, because if the lady of your dreams is now showing someone else love, she should be back on the market by then at the very latest. The typical wedding costs around $20,000. What better way to commemorate the union of your life than to spend the equivalent of your whole student loan debt in one day? That is correct. One day of flowers, lace, mason jars, and a slew of other things will land you in the poorhouse. According to the wedding industrial complex pushed by websites like TheKnot.com, the typical wedding spends approximately $30,000. The real median cost is $20,000, which is still a lot of money, and no, those prices aren't nearly offset by all of the garbage purchased for the newlyweds from Pottery Barn. The average divorce costs between $15,000 and $20,000. It is time to start paying for your divorce just as you are getting out from under the pile of debt generated by your wedding. For those keeping track at home, that means nearly half of the country ends up paying $40,000 just to get back to the bachelorhood they so desperately wanted to be rid of on those lonely Valentine's days. That doesn't even take into account the cost of the subsequent marriages that a third of those who marry will endure. Insider trading couples barely spend 2 hours a day together, half of which is spent watching TV. It is believed that you should marry the person with whom you wish to spend the rest of your life. That's all well and good, but it appears that you'll only get 2 hours a day for the rest of your life. An hour of the average 2 hours daily that couples spend together is spent watching television, 30 minutes is spent eating, and 24 minutes is spent on chores. Factor in the unfortunate fact that much of that TV watching is going to involve some that you didn't want to watch anyway, and these numbers look even more depressing. Those in dysfunctional relationships can take solace in the fact that they only have to endure an average of 15 minutes of nagging per day. 40% of marriages end in divorce. You've most likely heard that 50% of all marriages end in divorce. That isn't exactly correct. That number is based on incorrect math. The true divorce rate is closer to 40%. 60% of divorces occur within the first 10 years of marriage, making newlyweds the most likely to divorce. The odds of making it till death do us part are long. If your marriage is doomed to fail, why not skip it altogether rather than spending years trying to go back to where you started? Which is alone and unloved. This will offer you plenty of time to focus on your interests, such as playing Grand Theft Auto and masturbating.